I Am Elemental is running their annual Childhood Cancer Awareness campaign. All through the month of September, with the purchase of one Courage action figure, one will also be donated to a child fighting cancer. Courage is a 6.5-inch action figure with 30 plus points of articulation. Molded in durable plastic, she comes with a removable helmet, chest armor, flaming energy sword, and her Courage shield. Order yours today at imelemental.com and give one to a child fighting cancer at the same time. Link in the description below. Order yours today and change a child's life.
Hello everybody, Mac here. Welcome back to the show. It is the final week of the Target Fall Geek Out. It is week 6, and I have to admit, this week was a little underwhelming. To be completely honest, this Fall Geek Out in itself was a little underwhelming. Feels like it was kind of thrown together at the last minute. Feels like the manufacturers may not be as into this as much as they originally were. Like when things like this started, like there was the Haulathon, and there's the Target Collectors Con or Collectors Fest or whatever they call it. But I feel like that when these became really popular, it was during the pandemic, when people weren't able to get out, when people were doing everything online. And I feel like that the further and further away we get from that era, that time in our history, here we are 3 years out from the lockdowns, not the pandemic, just the lockdowns. And I feel like things like this are starting to wane in interest. And as involvement from collectors wanes, involvement from manufacturers wanes. And today, week 6, is a prime example of that. Today was Neca's day, and for them to have a week showing is really something, because what we got was this. So this is Neca Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Casey Jones, Neca Universal Monsters Ultimate Creature from the Black Lagoon in black and white, Neca My Bloody Valentine Ultimate Miner, which honestly that Miner is kind of cool. We'll take a look at him in a second, but I feel like the Miner you could like put into other lines, other collections, and he'd be kind of cool. And then the Thing Ultimate McCreary from like the last scene of the movie. Now, what makes these underwhelming is that they've all been on the shelf already. You've already been able to get them. As a matter of fact, time of recording, when I looked at it, Casey is already sold out. He was sold out this morning because people have been buying him up. This isn't anything new. All of this stuff was ready to go as soon as they put the launch up. I have a couple of theories on this. One is that maybe these were supposed to be held for the Fall Geek Out, but they got released early and people have just been buying them up. Or whatever Neca originally had planned for today fell through, so they just kind of fell back on these 4 figures. Now, what makes this interesting to me anyway is that over the past couple years, like ever since that first Haulathon that led into this, Neca and Target seem to have had a pretty solid relationship that I thought when they were putting Neca at the end, it was kind of like a deal that they were saving their best partner for last, and there was going to be some like really cool stuff released. I mean, like there was a bajillion things that they showcased at San Diego Comic-Con. None of that is this. I'm actually truthfully kind of surprised that the dwarf, the D&D dwarf that Neca released a couple of months ago, maybe it was just last month, maybe it was this month, what is time? But for as cool as the dwarf is and all the extra accessories and the price still being at the standard D&D figure price, I'm kind of surprised they didn't save that for this. But this is what we got. And like I said, if you take a look at the Miner here, he's actually kind of cool, very nondescript, doesn't really just scream like this is from My Bloody Valentine, for whatever that's worth. But I do think he's kind of a cool figure that he could fit into other lines. The McCreary from the last moment of the movie, I don't really collect a lot of NECA's figure lines. Like, I got their Flash Gordon line, I'm picking up their D&D line, I'm going to be getting the movie Flash Gordon figures. But how much stuff do they have for The Thing? I can't remember, to be honest. I'm pretty sure it's just this McCreary and the McCreary from the beginning of the movie. Not 100% certain on that, because I do think I remember seeing something for The Thing at Target. I just didn't open it up and take a look. So that's really all we have for NECA. And like I said, it's stuff that we've been able to get for a while now, and Casey was sold out at the beginning of the day. Didn't really mesh well, was kind of a underwhelming, anticlimactic end to the day. Like, even as a Universal Monsters collector, like the creature from the Black Lagoon is cool, but I get the Jada Toys figures, and like I said, that's been out for a while on the shelf now anyway. So I don't know if somebody jumped the gun and released this stuff way too early and this is originally what was supposed to be released today, or if what was supposed to be released today fell through, so they were like, hey, just put that stuff up. But that's it for the Fall Geek Out. Kind of a weak showing this year. Real curious to see if next summer they keep doing this for like the Summer Geek Out, to see if they keep this going, because like I said, it does feel like interest in things like this is waning. So something else that we have today that was unveiled are these, the McFarland Toys Holiday Batman figures. We have one red and one blue, and both of them are basically just Batman dressed up as Santa Claus. And truthfully, these are repaints of the Batman from the Endless Winter Wave, just with a different head sculpt, just with like that bearded and capped head sculpt on it. But yeah, those are just repaints from the Endless Winter Batman, which I really don't have a problem with, because all of the holiday figures, whether it's Halloween or Christmas, are basically repaints of existing figures. I mean, just look at Hasbro. All of the Black Series figures are figures that have come out earlier in the year and just have repaints on them. So this is one time I'm not really going to dog McFarland Toys for doing a repaint of something. Each of them is the figure, a sack of toys, and each of them comes with a comic book, so there also is kind of like that page puncher's quality to them. Both of them are $30 individually, or you can get them both for $50, all from McFarlandToysStore.com. These are exclusive gold label editions for the McFarland Toys website. I'll put a link to all of that in the description below. The only thing that kind of upsets me about this is, I mean, we knew he was going to use Batman if he was going to come out with a holiday figure, because it's Todd and because it's Batman. The only thing that kind of upsets me about this is, if he was going to make a red one and a blue one, I wish the blue one could have been Superman somehow, Superman dressed up as Santa Claus. That would have been kind of cool and been a little different, and you would have had like World's Finest dressed up as Santa. That would have been entertaining, and that actually might have made me get the two of them together. As it is now, I honestly don't know if I'm even going to get one, just because something like this has never really been my thing for like a holiday figure. I don't know. What do you think of them? Like, it's his first time doing it, and I don't think it was a bad choice to use that mold, but I feel like he could have done something a little more. He could, like, you even had Wonder Woman from the Endless Winter Wave in her winter gear. You could have done something with that and sort of like done like a Mrs. Claus thing with her. I don't know. I just feel like two of the same figure, just a repaint. You could have done a little more for your first time out. Like I said, both of them from McFarland Toys store. When we heard about them, we knew they were going to be gold label figures. I'm more surprised that being red and blue, it wasn't that one went to Target and one went to Walmart. So that's what we have for you today. Today is the last video of September, and the next video starts October, my favorite time of the year, one of my favorite times of the year. Bricktober begins, going over everything Halloween, everything spooky, monsters, all that good stuff for next year or next month. I'm excited. Got a really good one to start off with. So until that time, my friends, play well, stay safe, stay healthy, and as always, Thank you for watching.